On this day, exactly the 10th anniversary of the first iPhone coming out, Apple has come out with iOS 11. Is it any good? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Jason England and I'm the face of NewRisingMedia.com, and we're going to go through 11 features of iOS 11, the public beta that came out today. So let's start straight from the top, will we? And let's take a look at the brand new unlocking and home screen displays. So as you can tell, it's all had a bit of a rejig and the password screen looks significantly different. And don't worry, that's not actually my PIN code before anybody thinks I'm giving it away. And other bits to note on here, the calculator icon's changed. And yeah, let's go straight in with the notification tray as feature number 1. So if I scroll down, you'll see it looks exactly like the home screen. Now, while I know this does give it some kind of presence, I'm also not really a fan of it in that it doesn't feel like that much of a notification tray. It just feels like you're going back to the home screen. I do appreciate the animation to make it look like it's part of something and it's just a shade you pull down over the top of it, but I would prefer a tray. And for feature number 2, you scroll from the bottom up. Again, this is a beta, so I'm not sure whether it's going to work. There we go. And you have a one screen control center that is entirely customizable, which, as you can tell from here, I've just customized with a couple of odd elements, such as turning on battery saver mode or turning on the torch. You actually press and hold it as well, and you can adjust the brightness of said torch and then slide that straight away. Other bits come from when you dive into the camera. So for one, for example, make sure you have live photos turned on for it. If I just take one of myself here. Right. And of course, this goes off as a live photo. If we then choose to edit it, you can then actually pick a key scene. So here I look particularly like I'm squeezing out a fart, so I'm going to make that the key picture. And there we go. And let's move around and take a picture out the window for the next demonstration. Cool. And let's go into the gallery here and we swipe up. Now we get what are called live photo effects. So as you've seen from a live photo in iOS 10, essentially what it does is it captures a few seconds of video after you've taken the picture. So it's good in terms of forming a GIF if you wanted to. So you've got a nice little looping GIF here and there. The video is playing on Apple TV. I'm not connected to an Apple TV, so I think that's a glitch. But still, let's go back to this. Let's get another picture. That was a little bit weird. Gotta love live TV. And let's take a look here. The one that I'm particularly a fan of is the long exposure mode. So this would have a lot of promise. So say you were dealing with looking at a river. So we live quite close to a river. I can't really demonstrate it right now because I'm sat in my office. But still, putting a long exposure on that would mean you could essentially just wipe out all of the current and all of the wave marks on the river and just make it one very glass-like surface. So that seems pretty amazing. Just while I'm going through these, it would be amazing to get your thoughts on any of these that are coming up. So if you like them, don't forget to give us a thumbs up on the video, and if you really hate them, if you think they're crap, then obviously you've got an angry emoji for that to put on there. And if you have any questions at all about the iOS 11 beta, do not hesitate to pop them in the comments and I will respond to everybody after this video is done. So the next feature we're going to go on to is screen recording. So usually the way you'd have to record your iPhone screen is if it's actually plugged, like it is right now to do the stream, into your Mac and on QuickTime. Well, that is a thing of the past, as when you press and hold it and click start recording, which it's not going to do. Again, wonderful, wonderful public betas, very early build, but that will essentially record the screen, which, if it works, would be pretty cool. After this, if I just carry on down my list I've got written here, you also have Siri has some new tricks up his or her sleeve. So if I go into this, and one of the main problems here is British English hasn't actually been programmed into this new feature, but we'll give it a go. Translate "Hello, my name is Jason England" into French.
I can't translate British English yet. Sorry about that.
See what I mean? But the plan and the hope is that you will be able to get French, German, Italian, Mandarin Chinese and Spanish translation from any language, which is pretty good, especially for anybody who travels. Also, another key feature to note is you take a look at the bottom and the Siri button has been given a third dimension. Super fancy. Now let's dive into messages. And one of the features that is not alive yet is the ability to pay people over Apple Pay within messages. So this is clearly taking on the quickness of PayPal, but that should be available in a couple of beta test time. So when we get that, we will revisit that. So I'm going to go on to my sister's message stream here, asking, well, I responded to her back. She was ringing halfway through the stream saying, "Can I call you later?" So I want to say thank you, but let's pretend this hand is somewhat predisposed. So instead of trying to reach across, you press and hold here, and you can actually nudge the keyboard over to one side. So I can then just text her really easily, "How are you?" Send her that back. And that is another bug. As you saw there, you can't quit apps when you go into the multitasking tray like that. You have to go home and then quit apps. But that is a really, really nifty feature, which I really look forward to everybody using, trying out. It's going to be really easy for people to type now with one hand. Next is a filing system, but not an actual filing system. You can't actually get into the iCloud. Well, you can't actually get into the iPhone's file system in the back, but you can go into the iCloud files. So, for example, on here, for some odd reason, on one of my MacBooks, I saved all of my SimCity saved cities. Don't judge me, it's an amazing game. And yeah, that is another nice feature that's coming from there. This bit I'm not entirely sure about, but we dive into the App Store and you'll see that it's been completely redone. And it's very, very blocky, very Apple Music-y in the way that it's been done. And it's very much focused on content marketing. So instead of going for list upon list upon list of apps, you now have entire articles surrounding apps that have been picked and chosen based on what you've previously purchased. So, for example, it knows I have VSEO, so it's now going to show me some key features that people don't necessarily know about what you can do in VSEO, which I can see being handy to some people. Apps and games have also been split up, so they're in individual categories, and all your updates are over there too. Right. If I can figure... Oh, no, that's not going to quit. And let's take a look at some other features. Again, if anybody has any kind of features that they know of and that they want to talk to me about, then do pop them in the comments and I'm more than happy to bring them up. Another bit which I can't really demonstrate with a QR code anywhere is that there is a QR code reader actually built into the camera app now, which for many digital marketers that haven't really caught up to 2017 yet is a blessing in disguise. It means you can actually try and get people to visit websites by scanning stuff on walls, which no one will ever do. So that at the moment is all of the current features on the iPhone. On iOS 11, the public beta, other features coming along to bolster out the list. Apple Music will now be able to natively play FLAC files. You will also be able to mark up any particular screenshots you get, or say, for example, let's bring up New Horizon Media here. And let's say that I want to take a bit of this website and tell my developer what to do to improve it. So let's go into Markup as PDF. And there we go. So now I can actually, well, let me change the color of that. Maybe I'm not a fan of this story. And maybe it's the picture is out of frame. So with that, I can tap done, save file to, and let's choose a location. And there we go. It's now saved into my iCloud drive where I can access it at any point. And this kind of marking up service is now deeply integrated across the entire system. So on the main, all in all, on the surface of it, I can't really say it's changed that much. iOS 11 still looks very much like iOS 10 in terms of the fonts used and everything as such, but the usability of it has changed quite dramatically, especially with the notification tray and also with the control center. And there's been some other nifty small touches and features added to make things a little bit more convenient for your own usage. Do I recommend you upgrade to this? No. My answer to that would be, if you care about your battery, then no. Do not upgrade to it just now. It's perfectly fine and usable, but it does crash quite a bit. Some apps I've seen don't necessarily work on it at the moment, and I know that updates will be coming every week or 2 weeks. And from a battery perspective, this is a very early build, and I've seen my battery life cut in half just by using this throughout the day. I've needed to charge it halfway through my day instead of being able to go for an entire day with it. So at the moment, do not upgrade to it. Just take other people's thoughts and opinions on it. Or if you're feeling brave enough, always make sure you back up your phone first so that you've got something to go back to just in case your entire phone goes kaput. So that was my look through iOS 11. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give New Horizon Media a like. And I look forward to responding to any comments that I get on this video and to speaking to you all soon on another live stream. Alright, take care. Bye.